and somehow slippers. Dookie brown leather jacket, I found bacon. They had a broken keyboard, I bought a broken keyboard. I bought a ski blanket and then I bought a kneeboard. Hello, hello, my ace man, my mellow. John ain't got nothing on my friend's game, hell no. I can take some pro wings, make moves, sell those sneaker heads to be like, oh.
To thrift is to be creative, to let your imagination wander and think about not only the things that you need, but the things that other people didn't need, the things that other people no longer wanted. You can take those things and give them new homes, imagine their past use, and create a new future for them. Every item in a thrift shop has a story, a history, a past. And walking into a thrift store is like taking a step back in time. They're almost always dusty, almost always smell musty, and almost always are filled with nothing of particular interest. But that's why you have to go frequently, because one day there will be a time when you walk into a thrift store expecting to find nothing, and there, right in front of you, will be the thing that you didn't know that you ever needed. Or it will be the thing that you always needed and just hadn't found the right one yet. Kind of like boyfriends, no? Walking into a thrift store, captivated by the overwhelming quantities of junk, or what looks like junk, but there are gems inside the junk, beside the junk, nestled between the layers of junk that others have discarded. Sometimes people get rid of things because they have to, sometimes because it doesn't fit their needs anymore. I furnish the majority of my home with thrift store finds. I can't imagine getting rid of some of the things I found, but I'm more than happy to adopt and repurpose the junk of others. The beauty of thrift store shopping is that you'll never know what you're going to find. There are unicorns adorning shelves, looking forlorn at the prospect of never finding another home. I still have remorse for not buying this one. There are strange-looking cats with tufts of hair in mirror-backed display cases doing Irish jigs. There are tchotchkes upon tchotchkes on shelves upon shelves. Did you know that Geico can save you 15% or more on car insurance? Take the gecko home with you to serve as a constant reminder. Someone gave up a picture of their beagle puppy. I wonder what happened to the puppy. Maybe the puppy turned evil and they gave it away. Maybe the picture didn't fit on their walls. Maybe the puppy died. Maybe the puppy grew up into a dog and lived a full life and then died. Whatever happened to the puppy, its owner certainly didn't want a reminder hanging around. A word of advice: never buy lingerie from a thrift store. You don't know where it's been. If that's even an option you're considering, it's probably better to just go naked. Baby clothes in thrift stores are sad to me. A child could have only worn an outfit once. A child might have never worn an outfit at all. I can't imagine losing a child. The clothes hanging in thrift stores remind me of dreams unreached and promises never fulfilled. I want a new old chair for reading. I haven't found the right one yet. I've tried looking at many thrift stores, but the right person with the same style as me hasn't gotten tired of their furniture enough yet to give it up. But that doesn't mean that I don't look. It doesn't mean that every time I walk through the doors of a store that I don't hope beyond hopes that today will be the day I get my chair. But the answer remains the same: not yet. And then there are pieces that you want so badly to fit into your house because they're beautiful and romantic and what you want to decorate with if you hadn't already filled your house with large furniture. There are gaudy things that you don't understand how anyone could ever want to decorate their house with, like tall, thin lamps with dangly gemstones and candy cane striped shades. No thank you. There are hand-decorated crafts that someone thought were incredibly creative, even though the stickers are put on badly. Maybe it was a Girl Scout craft project. Those were never meant for longevity. There are ridiculous things like hand-painted plates and Pilgrim salt and pepper shakers. At least it's almost the right time of year for those to be even remotely appropriate, unlike the Fabergé Easter bunny in an egg. And then, after making 3 laps around the store, creating stories and trying to understand what it is that you're seeing, trying so hard to make sense of the eclectic piles of everything and nothing, there it is. Something you could use, something that doesn't clash with your style, something you might actually need. Now this thing still has a story. It still was cast out from the family that once owned it, told that it was no longer needed and shoved away into the shadows of the thrift store shelves. But here, now, you have the chance to save it. A Pyrex bowl, decorated with little green flowers, oven safe and great for mixing. Pyrex glassware has existed since the early 1900s. I looked for a date on the bowl, but couldn't find one. Maybe this bowl is an original from 1915 and has survived both world wars. Maybe it's from the 1970s and was the essential kitchen item of a family much like my parents. Maybe this bowl was meant to be a hand-me-down from mother to daughter, like most of my kitchen equipment is. Maybe that's why the bowl is at a thrift store, instead of in a kitchen, with no one to give it to, no one who will use it and appreciate the sentimental family value in such an heirloom. Its original owner thought it would make more sense for a random stranger, me, to pick it up and use it as it was meant to be used. In the tradition of thrifting, I will for now add to the lineage of owners for this Pyrex dish. Maybe one day it will end up back on a shelf. But for now, it will be used in my kitchen with the rest of my thrift store and hand-me-down acquisitions, and we will all eat the most delicious meals we've ever had.